Being rejected for more than 1,000 times, there is this person who sets up the world famous Kentucky Fried Chicken. Hi all, welcome to our channel Minutes of Motivation, and today we're going to talk about Colonel Harlan Sanders. Colonel Sanders is one of the most recognizable icon in fast food industry. Colonel Harlan Sanders might be famous today, but he came from humble beginnings. He was born in 1980 on a little farm in Henryville, Indiana, and sadly, his father died when he was just 5 years old. His mother was forced to take work wherever she could, while Sanders stayed home to take care of his siblings, a responsibility that led him to begin cooking. At the age of 7, he was already a skilled cook. When he was 10, he began working in a farm. 2 years later, his mother remarried to a violent man who didn't like the kids. Sanders dropped out of school, and at the age of 13, he left home and took a job painting horse carriages. At 15, he even joined the US Army. In 1908, he married Josephine King, a woman with whom he had 3 children. They divorced in the year 1947 after suffering one of the greatest tragedies that a parent could face. Their son died at the age of 20 due to complications after a tonsillectomy. In 1949, he married Claudia Leddington, with whom he remained until his death in 1980. Colonel Sanders spent the first half of his life working many odd jobs. He was selling insurance, he was selling tires, he was a farmer, a steamboat pilot, a lawyer. He was operating a ferry boat, among many others. He was known for not being able to keep a job for a longer period of time, so he was fired very often. It wasn't until the age of 40 that Colonel Sanders began selling chicken dishes inside a gas station. Eventually, his business became more and more popular that it became a 140-seat restaurant. In the next decade, he developed a secret recipe for frying chicken, which is still a recipe that is guarded by KFC. His business prospered until the late 1950s. When the highway junction situated in front of his restaurant was moved, his booming business suddenly struggled. Not miles from the highway, he auctioned off the site. With no income, he was forced to scrap by on his savings and his social security check of $105 a month. It was time for a new business tactic. Sanders began traveling across the United States, visiting potential franchise restaurants and offering them his chicken recipe in return for 4 cents on every chicken sold. It wasn't an easy life. He was living in his car, surviving with very little food, facing rejection after rejection, but giving up was never an option. Colonel Sanders was rejected for over 1,000 times before his recipe was accepted only once. Soon, Sanders had 600 franchises selling his Kentucky Fried Chicken, but the company started expanding rapidly and it became overwhelming for the old Sanders. So he sold his company for $2 million and remained as a spokesperson. He died at the age of 90. Today, there are over 20,000 KFC outlets around the world. As we can see, he was rejected more than 1,000 times before his recipe was sold, and almost his entire life, he failed at every job he tried. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone for something better. That's all for today's video. Meet you with some motivating stuff in the next video. Till then, goodbye.